So the Buddhist view on the family life is another topic that perhaps some of you are not used to seeing a Buddhist monk talk about, but actually is something that in Buddhism is also being taught about. So the Buddha would also teach about the family life, not only teaching to monastics, as is often understood. So what did the Buddha teach about the family life? First of all, you could say that one teaching that is very essential in this is also known in Thailand as the Kalavasa Dhamma, which means the virtues or the good qualities of a householder. These Kalavasa Dhamma are in total 4. The first one is sincerity. If you are living together in a family life, if you are having a relationship together, then you need to have sincerity. This is the most important quality. Without it, you cannot build anything. It's the big and most important first step. Secondly is self-training. You need to have self-training. You need to get used to the other person, adjust yourself to the other person. You cannot expect the other person only to adjust and you staying the same person as you are. There's always some adjustment from both sides needed in any relationships. This is what we call Dhamma, or adjustment, self-practice, self-adjustment to the circumstances of the relationship, to the other person. Thirdly, there is patience, or khanti. Khanti means patience, or trying to see situations in a positive light, and in that way cope with them. If we are in a relationship or in a family, we need to deal with the difficulties that come with that relationship, with that family. And sometimes we can solve it by adjusting ourselves, sometimes we can solve it by viewing it in a more positive way. We have to recognize that there isn't anyone in the world that is perfect. Except in Buddhism, of course, we believe the Buddha was perfect. But since our partner, our husband or wife is not the Buddha, he will have some mistakes, and we need to cope, we need to deal with that. We need to tolerate those mistakes. Try to look at the positive side. If he's saying something wrong, then look at what he does. If she's doing something wrong, then look at what she says instead. It's a way we cope with it. This is what we call khanti, or patience. And the last most important quality in the family life from a Buddhist perspective is jhaka, or self-sacrifice. This means that when we are in a relationship or a family life, it always takes some sacrifice. You cannot gain anything in life if you do not sacrifice anything for it. So we need to recognize that in a relationship, we have to sometimes put our convenience, put our comfort zone aside and engage, try to understand the other person, and in that way cope with the difficulties in any relationship, and both grow more and more in a family, in a relationship.